Hi guys, welcome. Welcome to Prelims Affairs, where we discuss issues from prelims perspective. Today we will discuss what is Genocide Convention and what is International Court of Justice, how is it different from International Criminal Court. The reason you should understand this is recently South Africa has alleged that Israel has committed a crime of genocide and it has pulled Israel to the International Court of Justice. This is possible because both the nations South Africa and Israel are signatories of this Genocide Convention. Again, this convention is applicable for states which are signatories of this convention and which are members of United Nations. And let us now discuss from prelims perspective what is this Genocide Convention. This Genocide Convention is elaborated as International Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crimes of Genocide. This resolution was adopted in 1948 by United Nations General Assembly, and this came into effect in 1951. So any nation, if it feels that another nation is committing a crime of genocide, can take that nation to the International Court of Justice. Be very clear, a nation can take another nation, a private party cannot take a private party, or an individual cannot take an individual. It is only a nation that can take another nation, provided that these two are signatories of the Genocide Convention. Here in this case, it is South Africa that is alleging on Israel and it has taken it to the International Court of Justice. Another case was Gambia that had taken Myanmar, alleging that Myanmar had committed genocide on the population of Rohingyas, and in that case also both had to go to ICJ because they were signatories of Genocide Convention. Okay, so this Genocide Convention, when it is taken to the International Court of Justice, the nation that is alleging another nation of commission of genocide has to prove two elements. The first element is it has to prove physical act of violence. The second is it has to prove specific intent of commission of genocide. This physical act and specific intent is very important for the International Court of Justice to accept that that particular nation has committed a genocide. So in this way, South Africa, it becomes important for South Africa to prove the physical act and specific intent committed by the Israel. So this is how the Genocide Convention works. Okay, so this is about the Genocide Convention, and once this particular case is taken over by the International Court of Justice, it is then looked into, and the International Court of Justice releases something called provisional measures. So when they say provisional measures, it is interim orders that the countries have to abide until the final determination of the case. Okay, so the keywords that you have to remember from prelims perspective is specific intent, physical act, and provisional measures. So this is about the Genocide Convention. I hope you understood what is this convention. Now let us look at what is the International Court of Justice and how is it different from the International Criminal Court. The International Court of Justice is also known as the World Court. It is the principal judicial arm of the United Nations, and this court can resolve a dispute between nations. It cannot resolve disputes between private entities. It cannot resolve disputes between non-governmental institutions. It cannot resolve disputes between individuals. It can resolve disputes between nations. Now, it can resolve disputes between nations who are members of United Nations, and also it can take up cases of those who are not members of United Nations, provided they have signed the Statute of International Court of Justice. Alright, this International Court of Justice has civil jurisdiction. Broadly, what it deals with is maritime disputes, trade disputes, boundary disputes, sovereignty issues. These are the broader perspectives of what the International Court of Justice deals with. This International Court of Justice has a total of 15 judges for a 9-year term. Every election of judges happens 3 years once, so that there is continuity. And the election takes place with the help of UNGA plus UNSC, and no two judges can belong to the same country. So this is the overall composition of the International Court of Justice. Okay, as I told you, this Court of Justice has its headquarters in The Hague, Netherlands, and it is mainly constituted to resolve disputes between nations. Since Genocide Convention allows nations to allege another nation and take it to ICJ, the jurisdiction comes under the International Court of Justice, because here the allegation is done by one nation on another nation. It cannot be done by one nation on an individual or a private on an individual. Since it involves nations, the resolving of dispute of Genocide Convention comes under the ambit of the ICJ. So I hope you understood what is the International Court of Justice. How is the International Court of Justice different from International Criminal Court? First, International Criminal Court as criminal jurisdiction, unlike the International Court of Justice that has the civilian jurisdiction. Now, International Criminal Court came into force in 2002. It is also known as Rome Statute because those members of International Criminal Court have to sign this Rome Statute. The next is, it is not part of United Nations. The next is, India is not part of International Criminal Court. Now, this International Criminal Court tries criminal cases of individuals, and those individuals who are alleged of commission of crimes against humanity, genocide, crimes of aggression, and war crimes. This crimes of aggression was a new reason that was added in the statute in 2018. Okay, so these are the broad 4 reasons why an individual can be tried in the International Criminal Court. Now, this International Criminal Court also has 15 judges with 9-year term. The International Criminal Court has 18 judges with 9-year term. And there will be one prosecutor, and this prosecutor will investigate on any allegation, and if the prosecutor feels that that particular allegation has some validity, then that prosecutor will recommend the judges to take up this case on the International Criminal Court. Now, these judges should be elected from within the members of this International Criminal Court, or those members who have signed the Rome Statute. There are around 105 members who are the signatories of this Rome Statute. So this is a criminal court that tries individuals basically on genocide, crimes on humanity, war crimes, and crimes of aggression. So I hope you understood what is the difference between International Criminal Court and what's the difference between International Court of Justice. One is the principal judicial arm of United Nations, another is not a part of United Nations. One will try the nations and resolve disputes within the nations, and other will try criminal trials of individuals who have committed crimes on humanity, on genocide, on war crimes, as well as crimes of aggression. So this is the broader difference. I hope you understood the factual information and dimensions that you have to study from prelims perspective in this issue. This is how we have to deal with when you're studying from prelims perspective. Until I come up with the next issue, thank you so much guys. Bye.